Welcome everyone and good evening. I'll call to order the regular City Council meeting for Monday, October 6, 2025. It is 6 p.m. I'll ask Councilwoman Goss to deliver our invocation.
Let us bow. Dear God, we thank you for this day and all the days, Lord, that you've blessed us to see and be a part of. Truly, we're blessed. And then, Lord, we pray for those among us who are sick, who cannot call themselves blessed. And we pray for healing if that is your desire. And those that are bereaved, we ask you to look at their situations, and we pray that they'll get comfort from their bereavement. All these blessings we ask in your name, and we thank you. Thank you for giving us the guidance to be here tonight and to make decisions. In your Son Jesus, I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Price, if you'll call the roll, please.
Okay. Mayor Michael E. Suggs,
Here.
Councilwoman Joan S. Goss,
Here.
Councilman Lewis C. Hardy Jr.,
Here.
Councilwoman Andrea L. Coleman,
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly D. Gerald,
Here.
Councilman Carol D. Paget Jr.,
Here.
and Councilwoman Tanya F. Sykes.
Present. Here.
Interim Administrator Angel R. Neighbors.
Here.
And Attorney John C. Zielinski.
Brad Smith sitting in for John.
And Mr. Zielinski is still out with some health issues. We're happy to have Mr. Brad Smith, who practices in the same firm as Mr. Zielinski, filling in the role of city attorney until Mr. Zielinski can be back with us. The first item on the agenda tonight is approval of minutes. We have one set of minutes from the regular city council meeting that was held on September 8th. Those have been provided to council ahead of time. Are there any additions, corrections, or anything regarding the minutes? If there are none, is there a motion regarding the minutes that they be approved?
I move that we approve the September 8, 2025 minutes.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Ms. Gerald to approve the minutes, a second by Ms. Goss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy? Mr. Hardy you were absent last time, correct? All right, sorry about that. Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Moving into communications, the first item is the mayor's report. I'll try to be brief on that. I want to remind you that this week is Fire Prevention Week. There will be an open house tomorrow at our Public Safety Building. Firefighters and police officers are hosting the event. It is open to everyone in the community, so please come by and meet your public safety, public servants, your fire department and police department, see their equipment and let them tell you a little bit about what they do. So look forward to seeing all of you there tomorrow night. Speaking of public safety, both our police department and fire department have recently been notified of grant awards. The fire department has been awarded an assistance to a firefighters grant. That is through the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA, and that is for 8 sets of turnout gear. If I'm not mistaken, that grant value is about $40,000, so we're really happy to receive that. The police department has also been awarded a grant. Fire Marshal Robert Rutledge and Lieutenant Williams have worked very hard on those grants. Lieutenant Williams will tell you more about the grant his department received when he does his report tonight. We have a new business in downtown. Blue Skies Counseling and Family Services had their ribbon cutting last Friday, which was October 3rd. They're located down on Meeting Street near Powers Pharmacy. They are the PD region's only local foster care agency, and we thank them for choosing Loris as their home. One item to note, McLeod Loris Hospital opened in 1950. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary this year. I spoke to hospital administrator Scott Montgomery last week. They are planning an anniversary celebration coming up in November, and the details of that will be announced later by the hospital. And always, as always, congratulations to our Loris Lions football team. They're now 6-0 this season. They defeated the Dillon Wildcats. It was a thriller of a game last Friday night. Final score was Loris 23, Dillon 22. This Friday is homecoming at Loris High School. Homecoming parade will be at 4 o'clock here on Main Street in Loris, and the Lions take on the Waccamaw Warriors in the homecoming game at Hennifer Field with kickoff at 7:30. And it's October, so that means the Great Loris Bog Off is coming up. That'll be Saturday, October 18th. And with that mentioned, I'll turn it over to Samantha from the Chamber of Commerce for her update.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Of course, the blog off is coming up October 18th, so that'll be from 9 to 5. And it's still, because of our sponsors and everybody, it is free to the public, so we invite everyone to come out. We have some new attractions going on, so we got a couple new kids attractions and things that are going, so you got to come and see what we've got going on. And also tomorrow night will kick off after you go visit the fire department, the open house. Then we're gonna invite you to come down to Downtown Tuesday. It starts tomorrow. It is normally from 6 to 8, but we're gonna start it a little bit when it starts getting dark because we're gonna show a movie for the kids. So we'll have movies coming up. So, but that'll kick off Downtown Tuesday, and it'll be every Tuesday night except for the first one in November, which is election, and then the last one in November, which is the week of Thanksgiving. Other than that, it'll be Downtown Tuesday, and then Halloween, unfortunately, is gonna fall on Halloween. So, that will be on Friday, which the football game is going on, but we hope that the little kiddos that are trick-or-treating will come out and check us out. And we have all the list of everything that's happening Downtown Tuesday. We got new events that we haven't had this year, so we got some murder mysteries, we got K-pop, theme party, we have some fire circus, so we got a lot of exciting events happening on Tuesday. And then, we'll go into the Christmas, and we'll talk about Christmas a little bit later, but come to the ball golf, 9 to 5, October 18th. We appreciate all your help.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Appreciate what you do for the city of Loris.
Thank you.
We'll move now to the administrator's report. Ms. Neighbors?
I only have one thing, just over the last month or so, trying to do some small beautifications of downtown, getting ready for the bog off, the streets and the parking spaces being marked. Some of the flower beds are being done as we speak. We have an arborist probably coming in probably after the bog off to start trimming some trees. Some trees can be trimmed in the fall, some have to be trimmed in the spring, so we already have that lined up as well. We have some other ideas of things that we want to do downtown. That's all I have.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Committee reports, we did not have any committee meetings during the month of September. We'll move to department head reports, code enforcement and planning. Ms. Holmes.
So you've got written reports for both the August and September stats reports. One just update that's not on there is the all hazard mitigation task force. We've completed that process with the county. That the full plan public comments were closed, I'm gonna say it was end of August on that. So now it's kind of we're submitting to the state for that approval, and then once that's done, it'll be adopted through council, which the city and other municipalities have already said, yes, we're going with this plan, which is how we're included on that task force as well. We are working with Waccamaw COG on the rural long-range transportation plan, which essentially goes back to some of our grant funding and finding some of our intersections that need some extra TLC, whether it be they're getting blocked off from flooding, they're breaking down really easy because of large trucks going through, and trying to see how we can improve that a little better. So we're in the works with that right now as well. I don't have anything else unless there's any questions.
And you have some potential grant opportunities coming up that you're working towards. Flood mitigation, there's a grant that'll be available sometime in 2026.
Yes, that was the study.
It is the study.
The engineer study for the northern branches that eventually they link to the Pleasant Meadow, but they're on the northern side of the city.
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Holmes regarding planning and zoning? We have our fire department report in the packet. I don't see Chief Hardy here. City Fire Marshal Robert Rutledge could not be here tonight. So we'll move to Police Department. Lieutenant Williams standing in for Chief Bewley tonight. Chief is in a training session this week.
Yeah, we got rid of him just for the week. He had to go to Columbia and do some training, but I appreciate you allowing me to come over and speak to Mr. Mayor, Council. And listen, this is a great, I'd love to see this, as many people as showed up out here at Council. I'd love to see this. I think it's great. People come to us all the time and say, hey, how do I make a voice count? We tell them all the time, you come to Council. So I love that this is here. Plus, I'm super excited what Ms. Vita's gonna say. I see those flyers in her hands, and I attend that as every year. Real quick, and I thought Mr. Mayor was going to steal our thunder, but we did get 3 grants. I'm glad you didn't. We got 3 grants. 2 of them were for the camera system. So one for body camera, one for our in-car dash camera, and the other one was for the highway safety grant. In total, there's $73,730, and I think that's all 100% covered. I don't think any of it's matching, so that's fantastic. So that's something that we foresee getting every year. I think the camera systems we've gotten, this is the 2nd year we've gotten it, and the highway safety grant is, this is the 2nd year we've gotten it, or 3rd year. 3rd year we've gotten it, so we anticipate we're gonna continue that on a regular basis. So 73,000, almost 74,000 is really good. Also we just got done with doing, in September, jury trials, which went great. Andrea did a good job with that. We got Judge Hudson now, so we haven't had jury trials in a while. Some of you were there. I recognize your faces as jurors. I appreciate you serving. But we went through that. It was an experience, but we got through it. Also, just to give you a quick update, some updates on training. We did have a couple officers complete some very extensive, very well-deserved training I want to recognize. So Corporal Sackett, he was the SRO at the elementary school. He's not there anymore. He came back out to patrol. He was at the school for about 3.5 years. He just finished the FLETC, which is the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy down in Georgia. So now he's recognized by all the federal law enforcement. He's a driving instructor for us now, so which is great. We needed an additional driving instructor, so now he's doing that for us. Officer Struhall spent 3 weeks at the academy in Columbia, 3 weeks, and now he's a defensive tactics and a ground defense instructor, so he's going to be teaching us how to survive any kind of encounter safely and with minimal use of force, which is super important if we ever encounter that. So, and also, lastly, Shauna Mincy, if you didn't know, she was away from us for 8 weeks. We sent her down to Georgia, and now she is nationally recognized as Loris Police Department's first and only ever certified forensic investigator. So she did that, it's fantastic. So Shauna's always expressed interest in becoming a CSI. We've all watched those shows, and now she can do everything that TV says that you can do. So she is nationally recognized. She gets the same training that everybody at NCIS gets. So she's done all that. So we're very proud of her in that. So she's going to be handling a lot of those crime scenes for us, which is great. We also brought in 2 brand new babies into the police department. Not literally, they're at home, hopefully sleeping. But 2 of our officers had new babies over the course of the last, which is exciting. We have one officer, Officer Mraz, is at the academy. He started his 3rd week at the academy this week. So he just started his 3rd week. He's doing really great there. And Officer Munoz, we call him Dino, is his name. He started at the Loris Elementary School today. So he's there now. He graduated the academy several weeks back, finished his FTO program. So he's hopefully he didn't get kicked in the shin too many times today, but that's probably what he's going to receive in the very near future. Any questions? That was quick, try to be fast.
Lieutenant Williams, thank you for your report, and thank you for all that you guys do to keep Lori safe.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, free hot dogs at the police department. Free hot dogs.
Public Works, Ron from our Public Works Department was supposed to be here tonight. Ron has become sick, and his doctor told him to stay home and stay out of work for a few days, so he was unable to be here tonight due to illness. And Recreation, Woody should be at the Recreation Department still this afternoon, so he's given our a written report. It's in your council packet. Looks like the football program is doing really well. The rec league teams, unless something changed over the weekend, they are undefeated this year. So they're doing as well as our varsity Flores Lions. Several travel ball tournaments. I'm just summarizing his report. And they're looking to try to launch a girls B-team basketball program. There's a former B-team girls basketball coach at the middle school. She's trying to plan that for the rec league. That'll be from 3rd grade through 6th grade, so it is taking shape. And basketball registration for all age groups will open up on November 1st. And they're starting a little early to allow for more practice time and to get a larger number of games. And so that's what's going on in the recreation department.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about recreation. Watson Park has had 2 basketball goals for all the time. Until about a few weeks ago, I noticed it looked like a city worker was out there working in the area of the basketball goal, and he left that goal flat on the ground. When we know a basketball goal has to be up. And it's been at least 3 weeks. I kept thinking, well, he's coming back to finish that, reinstall the goal or do something with the goal, but nothing's happened. And I'm just concerned that once, as I said, they've had 2 goals that people could enjoy for the longest time, and now there's only 1 goal and 1 is down. So does anyone know?
I do.
Okay.
I can explain it for you.
All right.
So I didn't want to mention, but we are under, we've applied for a grant through the county, and part of that grant is to reinstall basketball goals and new equipment, playground equipment at Watson Park to replace what was removed years ago.
Okay.
So I didn't mention it because I'm waiting to hear back to see if we actually will receive that grant. But everything is in the works for some new equipment and some new, we're actually gonna rejuvenate the whole park itself. We've got a lot of things going on over there.
Okay, well, that'll be exciting to see. It really doesn't look good now with the goal down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? All right, we will move now to the business items on the agenda. Item A is consider an annexation petition. Ms. Holmes, if you will explain that to the council as it comes from your department.
So, and we do have the applicant here for if council has any questions with that. Diamond Shores has submitted a petition requesting annexation for the property. This is kind of that gap property along Cannon Road that butts up to the backside of Watson Park and actually extends to the, what's considered the Loris Commerce Center, the industrial park. This is that gap section that's undeveloped on both sides of Cannon Road. What they are requesting, and you've got in your packets, is it's a survey map. That survey is not yet recorded. This will kind of explain why this is worded this way. They're requesting 2 different districts, an R2 for a portion of it and industrial for the other. So those 2 are laid out on the plat, but this plat is not recorded yet. So that would kind of go in effect along with that annexation should it go through. Then it would be recorded designating those 2 parcels. And representative from Diamond Shores is here for any other questions on that. This is just asking for it to be forwarded to Planning Commission for further review, discussion, and then it would come back to City Council.
If you look at the map showing city limits, this is the donut hole right in the middle of the
Right.
Cannon Road area, sort of, it's that south of the Commerce Center. There's an area that's not annexed into town, and this is the property they're referring to, which would make the city limits continuous
Yes.
from present city limits all the way through the industrial park.
Yes.
Anyone from Diamond Shores like to add anything?
Yeah, David Schwerd, Diamond Shores. She did an excellent job of explaining it. Basically, we're working in partnership to expand the industrial park, so the parcel piece that's being annexed in is an industrial park. Once the rezoning is complete, we'll do the subdivision before second reading to make sure that we can go ahead and do that. But that portion of the industrial park will be added, that industrial zone will be added into the industrial park. And then along Watson Park, there's actually 0.9 acres of open space that we don't really need. And so we're more than happy to also donate that to the park for future parking expansion or anything like that. It's separated from the rest of our development by a wooded wetland. We've had the wetlands delineated, so we know that area is not a wetland, but it's directly adjacent to the park, so it's not a portion of property that, it would benefit the community more than it benefits the direct neighborhood. And then we'll look forward to, hopefully, if you recommend when we get to the planning commission, we may further along our site plan. We do have a proposed development plan for the rest of the property that matches the existing zoning that's there. So we're not doing anything different. We're trying to create jobs at the same time we're creating houses. So we're not just creating new homes, we're creating a bigger tax base for the town as well, so that you can have money to pay for the improvements that are needed for public safety and roads. And our proposed plan has, I think it's about 12%, almost 6 acres of ponds on our project. Two very large ponds, so we're not doing little ponds all over the place, so that they're more than able to handle the stormwater, because I know that's a concern, of course. It's a big concern for me as the designer.
And this won't negatively impact the residents that's already there.
We are providing a 25-foot buffer around all of our existing property lines. All the stormwater actually comes to our property. It doesn't go forward to the road. Their water actually comes back to us, and we'll have to accept that. So within those buffers, we have it designed to be piped through our neighborhood and back into the large ponds in the back. The other neighbors that are on the right-hand side by the park, we have a much larger wooded buffer that's there behind their lots, and we're not developing anything. Basically, on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, if there's woods that are there now, the majority of those woods are staying in our plans. And we have an aerial imagery that would show that layout. But we're trying to preserve the existing woods, just like we're keeping the wooded area between our proposed project and the industrial area that we're rezoning. There's like a 300-foot buffer that's there. We're leaving that. On the front side, we're leaving anything that's there. The only section that we're cutting down is a section that had been wood timbered before, and it's just volunteer growth. It's 8-10-foot tile. That section will come down. There's an existing sewer line that runs through the property that we'll be tying into, so we're not creating an additional burden for a pump station. We'll of course have to analyze the existing pump station that serves that area and make sure it's big enough, but that way it's not creating a separate pump station that has to be maintained. So there's another expense that goes away for everybody. And as part of the project, as the size of the development, we will have to do a traffic study just to analyze the existing intersections that are around it, determine if there are improvements or anything.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions from council? All right.
Thank you very much.
This is a petition for annexation. If council votes to accept the petition, what that means is the matter gets forwarded to the planning commission for them to study it, meet with the owner and the developer, and then they will make a recommendation and refer it back to city council for further action. So this is not voting for a particular project or anything like that. This is simply, if we accept the petition, it opens a dialogue with the developer through the planning commission to see if this is a good thing for the city of Loris to accept this property into the city limits. So with all of that said, and with the presentation made tonight, is there any motion from council regarding the annexation petition?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve this annexation petition and send it to the planning commission.
We have a motion from Mr. Hardy to accept the annexation petition. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Sykes. Any further discussion from council? Well, hearing none, we will call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Moving on to item B under business tonight, that is second reading of ordinance 0825. I'll ask Ms. Price if she will read that by title only.
Okay. Second reading of ordinance 0825, PC 202401-003, an ordinance to rezone approximately 18.8 total acres from industrial to planned development district located on the southern corner of Broad Street, US 701, and Meadow Street, S-26-152.
And this is second reading on that ordinance. Ms. Holmes, if you will, just give us a brief reminder, and the folks in attendance, a brief reminder as to what this, where this property is and what it entails.
So the proposed planned development district is situated behind the Loris IGA, the old Talon plant over on Meadow Street. It's 2 parcels. What they're proposing with the planned development is a mix of existing industrial, so industrial uses, commercial and residential, all on one parcel. The unique part of a planned development is they actually design their own requirements. Basically, they're creating their own zoning district. So you do have the attachments that the ordinance is referring to, attachment A being the detailed master plan, and then the exhibit 1, which is the map showing overall. That, along with the ordinance language, creates that ordinance. So that a planned development district is its own zoning. You may have another planned development district in the city. They're not gonna necessarily be identical. This master plan is creating what's allowed and what's not allowed. If it's not stated, it's not an allowed use for there. This was previously presented by Bolton and Mink. Public hearing was on August 25th, sorry. First reading was on September 8th. This is one that we have discussed over the last few meetings for that.
And my understanding of a planned development district, once this is confirmed on second reading, that zoning in that district, it's pretty much set in stone. It cannot change.
Correct.
What they have proposed to do, they can't deviate from it. It has to be what is presented,
Yes.
has been presented already, correct?
They would have to go through a rezoning request in order to change anything in it. Yes.
Anyone on council have any questions for Ms. Holmes regarding the ordinance? If there's no further discussion, is there a motion regarding ordinance 0825?
I make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion from Mr. Paget to approve ordinance 0825 on second reading. Is there a second to his motion?
Second.
We have a second from Mr. Hardy. Any further discussion from council before we vote? All right, we'll call for the vote now. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald? Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes? And I vote yes. Moving along to item C, that is second reading of ordinance 0925. I'll ask Ms. Price to read that by title only.
Okay. The second reading of ordinance 0925, an ordinance to rezone approximately 3.8 total acres from R-1.4 residential to C-2 general business located on the southern side of Main Street, South Carolina -9.
Ms. Holmes?
So this property, you have an illustration along with the ordinance in your packet, is next door to Creekwood Apartments, diagonal from the cold storage. This is that wooded vacant lot. It's, sorry, I'm getting my train of thought. It's south of Main Street on the western side of town. It does have flood zone on the back of it, but if it's rezoned, no matter what it is they propose to build, it has to follow our flood ordinance. So any development there would be, because it is vacant now. It is in line with our comp plan, future land use maps. So that's, unless you have any questions, that one was a little bit simpler than the last one.
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Holmes regarding where the property is or anything regarding that?
And this is that wooded area right before you get to Creekwood Apartments?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
This is second reading. Is there a motion from council regarding second reading of ordinance 0925?
Mr. Mayor, I'll move ahead with the second reading of this ordinance.
I second.
We have a motion by Mr. Hardy regarding ordinance 0925 that we move forward and vote on that on second reading. Second by Ms. Gerald. Any further discussion? All right. Motion is to accept this on second reading. We'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Item D tonight is first reading of ordinance 10-25, and I'll ask Ms. Rice. I drew a mental blank, I'm sorry, Melinda. To read that by title only.
Okay, first reading of ordinance 10-25, an ordinance amending the business license ordinance of the city of Loris to update the class schedule as required by Act 176 of 2020.
And if council recalls, back in 2020, the state put new requirements on municipalities regarding business licenses. We had to redo our ordinance at that point. And now, every 2 years, we're required to update the classification schedule. So that is what this is. The draft ordinance was sent to us through the municipal association. All municipalities are supposed to approve this by the end of the year, so it's effective next year before business license renewals. Is that,
Yes, and you have a handout of that schedule.
yes, we do. Mr. Smith, is that accurate description of what that ordinance is about?
It is.
So it's something we're required to do by the state of South Carolina every 2 years. So with that said, is there a motion regarding first reading of ordinance 1025?
Make a motion that we approve the ordinance 1025 on first reading.
We have a motion by Mr. Paget. We have a second by Ms. Gerald to approve ordinance 10-25 on first reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Oops, what about Ms. Sykes?
How about
Oh, Ms.
Ms.
Sykes? I left you out.
I will let you leave me out.
I'm sorry.
No hard feelings.
Item E is consider acceptance of deed of conveyance from D.R. Horton for the Meadowalk Phase 2 utility infrastructure. We did this recently for Phase 1. This is really the same thing, just involving Phase 2. Ms. Holmes, if you'll explain that.
So this is where they have, Meadowwalk with Phase 1, we accepted, ownership and maintenance for the infrastructure, the water sewer utilities with Phase 1 along with the pump station, that the developer actually built. Phase 2 is exactly the same with it, except for they don't have a pump station in it because the pump station from Phase 1 also serves Phase 2. This paperwork, we've got everything that we need, that system is operational. DES has now released that, so it is operational with it. We've got as-built surveys for that, showing exactly where those lines are. And I do have the developer here if there's any other questions on that, or if you've got anything with it. So this is essentially the city, they're requesting the city to accept ownership and maintenance of those utilities.
Okay. So this is like I said, the same thing we did earlier. We did the
Yes.
deed and the reduction of the improvement guarantee at the same meeting for the
Yes.
Phase 1. We're doing that again tonight.
Yes.
First item on the agenda is the deed of conveyance.
Mhm.
So having heard Mr. Smith, anything that you need to add from a legal standpoint regarding that? And that is what is done in these developments, the infrastructure is ultimately deeded over to the city. So we're considering the deed of conveyance from D.R. Horton. Is there a motion from council that we accept the deed.
I move that we accept the deed.
A motion by Ms. Gerald to accept the deed regarding the Phase 2 Meadow Walk utility infrastructure. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coleman. Any further discussion from council? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Now we move to item F, which is the second part of that, really, the reduction of the improvement guarantee. Ms. Holmes?
So the original improvement guarantee, was ballpark 565,000. Essentially what they've requested is for it to be reduced to $256,454.13. And they've provided us a list of what is completed, and anything remaining. So that remainder that we would be holding for that would be for anything that's not finished and would go towards the contractor's warranty for that, where they're warranting their work for it. This is exactly what we did with Phase 1, just different amount.
All right. Any questions from council? Is there a motion that we approve reduction of the improvement guarantee for Meadow Walk Phase 2?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hardy. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Sykes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes? And I vote yes. Move to item G. This is a discussion of a request from the Loris Chamber of Commerce for funding. You know, for several years now, we have assisted the Loris Chamber of Commerce each year for some funding to help them with their activities. The request this year is for $10,000. That helps with the rent of the lot uptown where they have the events and some of the upkeep there. This is something we've done for several years now, and it's time to consider their request for the upcoming year. Samantha from Chamber, anything that you want to add to that? The request for funds from the Chamber?
I'll just explain that. That is the property at the grass lot and the parking lot that we use and do downtown Tuesdays and events and during Christmas and stuff like that. And so it is a huge help to us when we have activities in downtown Loris.
And the amount you're requesting this year is $10,000, correct?
It does have like a little percentage over, but it was a few dollars over.
Okay. Any questions regarding that? Is there a motion regarding their request for funding? And this would come from hospitality funds.
Come from the what, the hospitality
Hospitality
fund?
funds, yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we approve the request of the Chamber of Commerce for the $10,000.
Second the motion.
We have a motion from Mr. Paget, a second from Ms. Goss to approve the request, and this will be funded from hospitality funds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Item H, which is our final item of business tonight, is a discussion of trick-or-treat hours for Halloween. Traditionally, the city has set the hours that trick-or-treaters may be on the street. Halloween this year is on a Friday night, same night Samantha's having her downtown trick-or-treat events. Same night Loris is playing football, so a lot of events going on that night. Is there any discussion amongst council as to the proper time for the city to endorse trick-or-treating in the city of Loris? Typically, we've done it on Halloween night from 6 to 8 p.m. So, is there a motion in that regard?
I move that we go ahead with the 6 to 8 p.m.
On Halloween night?
I don't see why not, because everything else is, you know,
Right.
if we try to do it a different night, I mean, it's just gonna be, just
Yeah, I just want to get it all on the record so the motion was clear. So you're making a motion that Halloween trick-or-treat hours be 6 to 8 p.m. on Halloween
Halloween
night,
night.
Friday, October 31st.
31st, yeah.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Hardy. Is there a second on
I
that motion?
second the motion.
Second from Ms. Goss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we will call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes? And I vote yes. We're now at the point in our agenda for public and press comments. We have some individuals that are with us tonight that have signed up to speak. And first on the list is Mr. Robert Watson. Mr. Watson, if you would, just for the record, if you state your name and your address so we can get it on the record.
Robert Watson, 4828 Watson Street.
Thank you, sir.
Brad, would you hand, he's got something he wants to solve.
The first two pictures are pictures of my house. The rest of them are houses that is dilapidated and need to be towed down or something. I don't really care what is done to them, but in front of my house looks terrible. I mean, it is. Bulk trash is out there. I called the city, it ain't my bulk trash, but I called the city to get it taken up, and he moved it. And I moved back here, and I'm from here. I moved back here in 2008. I've been trying to get something done about the street where all these houses and places are. In front of my house, there's 1, 2, 3. To the left of my house, there's a house that been there for 80 years. And I can say one thing, that the house is air property, and I do own something in it, but I try to talk to my cousins about that house, and they don't wanna do anything. My point is, my property going down, the new houses on Church Street property probably gonna go down, they ain't gonna be able to get what you want if you decide to sell. Not that I'm selling, but the point is, it looks terrible. I don't know if you ever rode through there or not, but you need to ride through it, it's terrible. I keep my house up. I keep my yard up and everything. I don't, and I just don't, I've been talking about this. When I first got here, 2008, I talked to the mayor, the one before Mr. Nichols, and he said he was gonna do something about it and never did anything about it. I called here and left messages, nobody answered, so I don't get involved in politics. I just want my home to be in a place where it's presentable. I have people coming to my house and they see all that mess on the other side. It makes my house look bad. And so I don't know whether y'all can do anything about it or not. Hey, I'm just here to file my complaint. I'm a religious man, and God says we must be holy like Him. And that means who? And that means your body, your mind, and your physical area around you. And I just don't see it other than my house. And a few houses down from me, but everything is in front of my house. So that's all I have to say. I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention. And if anything can be done, I would appreciate it very much. And thank you for listening at me. I really appreciate it.
Mr. Watson, thank you. I know in years past, from time to time, we've been able to send out some letters to some property owners, and we've gotten some response, and then sometimes we've not gotten any response. It may be something that Mr. Smith can help us with from a legal standpoint to contact some of those landowners and maybe remind them of their obligation to keep the property up and tell them what potentially could be done if they didn't, perhaps.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you.
All right, sir, thank you. Pass this. Brad, if you give this back to Mr. Watson, please. All right, the next citizen tonight is Miss Hattie Williams. Ms. Williams, if you will just state your name for the record and your address.
Hattie Williams, 3001 Church Street, Lower, South Carolina, and I'm back about the same thing my husband did. And I'm pretty sure y'all have a copy of it, because I went to City Hall today, already had printed out. And Jordan did come by my house this afternoon, he did. My concern, again, is this. I'm looking at my last 3 bills. The amount is the exact same thing. One of them shows 343, one of them shows 346, one of them shows 349. That's the one we just got. And they came out red today, shows 350. We was gone half of September. So tell me how it's 350 today when they came out red. Who's using my water? There are no leaks, because I already had checked.
Well, I can't answer as to who's using your water, Ms. Williams.
Nobody used my water, there's nobody in my house but me and my husband.
Well, did Jordan suggest that we could go put a new meter in
He
and
did.
double check that?
He did.
Okay, well,
And
let
he
us,
said that's where you should start.
let us do that and see what the meters,
There's only one time that my water bill will change, and that's in the month of June when I have my grandkids. It will change, and I will accept that. But this other stuff y'all talking about, I don't accept. And last meeting, you said that if I use 1,000, 1 gallon of water, I get charged for 2,000. I was told today that you can't do that.
I don't think, maybe I wasn't totally correct.
Well, it's on
that.
Facebook, all you gotta do is look at it. And I don't do any social media, but it was brought to my attention. And I don't do social media.
I don't either.
Did you say
But
that your
that's
bill,
what you said.
did you say your bill was $300?
That is not what I said.
I heard 343 and 3.
Those are the accounts they have here. Like usage, it's usage.
Oh,
And there's nobody in my house but me and my husband, we gone all day. You
okay.
can't flush the toilet that much. You can't. We don't water the lawn, we don't wash our own cars, so we take care of them for us. I wash clothes once a month. So you all can't show me where I'm using that much water.
Ms.
I
Williams?
just want you all to get consistent, that's all I'm asking, get consistent with what you do. Get consistent with the times you come out there and read them.
We can do what Jordan suggested, we could put another meter
And
in
he's
and
supposed to
see
say
how
you all
that,
supposed to
see
get
how
somebody
that
out there
reads.
sometime this week. I just want you to get consistent with what you do, and we all know, and you all can say what you wanna say, but we all know that you do what you wanna do for who you wanna do it for. We all know that.
Ms. Williams, I would disagree with you on that. We try to
And no, and you can
treat
disagree all
everybody.
you want. I know it to be true, because I've had people come to me with it. I know it's true. I've been in this town long enough all my life. I know how this town works. I just want you all to get consistent with what you do. You are supposed to be our voice. We vote you in to be our voice. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna be fair, but be fair with everybody.
Ms. Williams, we try to do that.
Whatever y'all fail.
All right, next on the list for public comment is Ms. Candace Grella.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Candace Grella, 3208 Main Street.
Would you spell your last name, please?
Grella. So I left my matter open, just in case I had something to say. My only comment tonight is about the minutes. The minutes seem to be caught up on their approvals, but they are not on the website. I cannot find them. I think the most recent one is maybe April or May. So I'm just wondering why they're not on the website.
Okay. We can get those caught up too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ms. Nichols. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, good evening. It's always an exciting time for me to stand before the council and to announce the Loris Women's Coalition Salute to American Heroes on behalf of our veterans to celebrate them on November 8th. We will begin at 10 a.m. at Loris High School Auditorium. I want to personally thank our Mayor Mike Suggs for supporting us enthusiastically to ensure that we continue to get support from the council. This is our 9th annual salute to Loris American Heroes, and we are very proud to be able to have sustained this all of these years and continue to grow. And so this year, as we did last year, we gave the Quilt of Valor to a number of our honored veterans, and it is a quilt that is presented in a special ceremony and it is a handmade quilt by a group of volunteer quilters, and there's a group of the Quilt of Valor Foundation around the country that make these quilts. And it started out as quilts of comfort for veterans who were in the Veterans Hospital, and they found that those quilts of valor were very comforting to those soldiers. And I, as a veteran, I can tell you when I was presented mine, that for me, it was so very touching. I did not expect to be moved in the way that I was, but I was very moved, and it's a beautiful presentation. If you haven't seen it, please come out and support our veterans. We're gonna have a very special catered meal this year. As Mayor Suggs can tell you, we always have a delicious meal. This year, Mission Barbecue is catering our meal. So please come out. We are gonna offer, that is a complimentary meal that we offer our veterans and our guests after the fact. You will see our members of the Loris Women's Coalition. I think we have at least one member here, if you would stand. We are always seeking additional members. Thank you. We are always seeking additional members. We have about 12 right now. We always need more hands because we are a volunteer organization. We have a couple of types of flyers that you're gonna see on Bog Off Day. This is the larger one that we're going to ask businesses to put in your window. And we'll bring the tape and we'll put them up. You just tell us where we can put them, just to encourage people to come. We'll also have the smaller ones, which I'll give all the members of the council tonight, and also have some available to other members. Please give these to your churches, your other groups and organizations. This is a nonpartisan event, and it is available to everyone to come. So we love our country, we love our veterans. Please come out and support our veterans. November 8th, 10 a.m., Loris High School Auditorium, and also see some of our Loris veterans receive their Quilt of Valor. And thank you again for your support, City Council and Mayor Suggs. Any questions for me?
Ms. Nichols, I'll just add to what you said. It is a very nice event. It honors all of our veterans. If you haven't been, you need to go. I know I've been to several. I know Mr. Hardy's, Ms. Gerald, Ms. Goss, I think Mr. Padgett has been to one or two before. It is a very nice event, and that Quilt of Valor ceremony, I experienced that in person when my late uncle was in hospice care. A group came to the hospice house and presented him a Quilt of Valor. He was a veteran of World War II and Korea, and some members of the family were there, and it was just a touching experience. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you talk about the Quilt of Valor ceremony. It's very nice and very touching.
Thank you so
for
much.
doing what you do to recognize these veterans on Veterans Day, because we wouldn't be able to be here tonight in this room having this meeting but for those veterans that fought for the rights that we have today as American citizens.
Amen.
We might not always agree on things, but one thing we can agree on is those veterans are special and they deserve our appreciation.
I could not agree more. Mayor, may I approach and pass these?
Absolutely, and if you'll leave a larger one,
Okay,
and
I
leave it
will.
with Melinda, she
And
can
then
post
you'll
one up
just take one
front.
and pass it down, and I'm gonna also give one to the clerk, and I'll have some additional ones for others. And again, look for us on Bog Off Day. We'll have many more. If there's a phone number on there, if you need something before then, please give a call. And we also, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one important thing. I talked about the support. We are still looking for sponsors. So our platinum level sponsorship starts at $1,000 and we go all the way down to 100. In addition, if you want to give any amount in memoriam or honorarium for a person who is a veteran, or just want to give us a donation to help, because it is all volunteer, please don't hesitate to do that. And we do have forms, and these forms will be available in City Hall as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols, we appreciate that. And that concludes the public comment portion of our agenda tonight. I believe we have one matter that Ms. Neighbors needs to bring to our attention tonight regarding a personnel matter. Mr. Smith, you have any legal matters tonight?
Couple things we can go over, but we can talk on about executive session.
Okay, so a couple of legal matters that Mr. Smith needs to present to us. So hearing that, is there a motion we enter executive session for the purpose of a personnel matter and a legal matter?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Goss.
Second.
Second by Ms. Gerald. Any discussion on the motion? We'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yeah.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Badgett?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We should be back very shortly.
You're back on.
Want to check?
Okay. Okay.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion that we go back into open session.
I so move.
A motion by Ms. Goss, second by Mr. Hardy to go back into open session. Any discussion? We'll call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes? And I vote yes. In executive session, we received a update on a personnel matter from our city administrator, Ms. Neighbors. Also, a legal matter that was brought to our attention by Mr. Brad Smith, our attorney. No action, no vote was taken in executive session. Those are all the items we have for tonight's meeting. At this time, I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn.
I so move.
Motion by Ms. Goss,
Second.
second by Ms. Gerald. Any
Gerald.
discussion on the motion to adjourn? We will call for the vote. Ms. Goss?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ms. Gerald?
Yes.
Mr. Paget?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes? And I vote yes. Meeting adjourned at 7:28 PM.